What is the biggest unsolved mystery in human history? We like to think we understand the universe and that physics is a well-grounded discipline. And in some ways it is. However, we have no idea what dark matter or dark energy is, and yet we think it makes up 27% and 68% of the universe respectively. The final words of the Emperor Titus were, "I have but one regret." We don't know and never will what that regret was. Edit. On reflection it's even better, I have made but one mistake. Supreme confidence. Neither medicine nor science has an answer for what consciousness is, or where it originates. Maybe the question of how many things are in our oceans that we did not discover yet. The sea is hella scary to me. And not because of the water. What book did you read in school that you would never want your child to read? Dianetics, or anything else by L. Ron Hubbard. A Day No Pigs Would Die was pretty rough in 6th grade. Basically Charlotte's Web with hauntingly graphic depictions of animal husbandry and slaughter. I don't remember getting a lot of value out of it at 11 years old. Just pig blood soaked nightmares lol. The Scarlet Letter, that shit was a grind. I loved to read, but I wanted to claw my eyes out so I could stop reading it. Shakespeare. Not because it is bad but because it's not really meant to be read. It's a performance, you're supposed to watch it. Ethan Frome. None. Children should be exposed to all kinds of books. Age appropriate, to expand their minds and challenge their perceptions. How old are you and what's your biggest problem right now? 42 and trying to figure out which of my problems is the biggest. I'm going with finances and depression. 37 and I'm going blind. I don't know how long it will take. When I will be legally blind and unable to live my life with the richness, independence and everything else I expected. But it's coming. It's a crushing inevitability. Every day that I get to see my loved ones' faces is a gift. 46. My kids won't stop getting sick. They're missing so much school. It's like their bodies have decided to just alternate weeks with different respiratory viruses. This thread is oddly beautiful. A reminder that none of us are alone and everyone has problems. 32 and my newborn daughter passed away. If you could place any object on the surface of Mars, purely to confuse NASA scientists, what would it be? Soviet-era spacesuit with a skeleton. Liquid water in a mason jar. Statue of Liberty half buried in the ground. That S design we all drew in middle school. Dinosaur remains holding a Bible. Matt Damon. A picnic basket, blanket, food laid out with a note, honey. I forgot the potato salad. I'll be back in 20 minutes and for good measure. A 1953 Buick. To complete the scene, footprints that walk away and just disappear about 50 yards away. A white plastic lawn chair. A whole-ass Dollar General. A fully crewed, by preserved corpses, skeletons of course, Viking longship. What's the best comedy movie you have ever watched? Office Space. It gets better as I age and it gets more relevant. My Cousin Vinny. It's smart, it's hilarious, and it's got some superb acting in it. Airplane. One of the greatest spoof movies of all time. Scrolled forever but couldn't find, This Is Spinal Tap. That one goes to 11 every time. Naked Gun. I watched Best in Show for the first time 2 weeks ago. I was on a flight back home and could not stop laughing. Good stuff. Haven't seen Galaxy Quest mention. It's hilarious. Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. Young Frankenstein. The Emperor's New Groove. What's the hardest thing for you to comprehend about the American culture? Removed. Entree means main course. School mascots. Where I live, we just have teams and just play matches against people. In America, It's all like, "Go Easttown Eagles. OOGACHACKA." And there would be some person in a cheapo Eagles suit spinning a basketball on his fingers or something. You would have a full dramatic cheerleader dance-off before your match. We just shake hands and stare at each other, hearing the bald eagle screech every time I unwrap a slice of American cheese. You are allowed to drive a car at 16, own guns and sign up for the military at 18. But alcohol, behold the devil's liquid, is only for 21 plus. The great Reddit outage of 2023. Me during the outage. Opens Reddit. Sees it's still down. Closes Reddit. Oh, I know what can keep me entertained. Mindlessly reopens Reddit. Sees it's still down. Realizes I'm an idiot. Rinse. Repeat a few too many times. I kept instinctively opening Reddit when I was bored every few minutes. This outage has made me realize just how little I'd use my phone if Reddit didn't exist. Can't believe they forced me to work today. I had to read news on another app like some sort of boomer. It was awful, crying disappointed. The great Reddit outage of 2023, so far. How many people actually had to do their job today? I can't believe how much time I scroll at work, lol. Today was * rough. What's the most NSFW thing you did last weekend? Masturbated to get rid of a headache. It worked. I stopped pooping midway so that my old grandma who can't hold her pee can use the toilet. Bro, I am 33 years old, with 2 stepkids, a dog, and my parents' dog while they're away. Stepkids left Friday, and my absolute goal for the weekend was to sleep in. I went to bed at 9:20. I woke up at 10:55 a.m. Saturday morning. I feel like I broke the law. I stained a single board of wood without a mask. Don't tell my wife. I put socks on before underwear, it was wild. Had a beer, got angry at the world. Summoned my hatred that was needed to exist another week. I asked someone out, in person smirk. Do you think that waiting until you are married for sex is a good idea? Why or why not? If you want to wait, go for it, but don't set yourself up for waiting until marriage, and then rush the marriage part just to get to the sex. I would say it's not about waiting until you are married but waiting until it is right for both of you. That's the key point that a lot of people get wrong. They get to it for reasons other than it being right or feeling right. So if your belief is that you should have committed to a marriage, then that is what is going to feel right for you. It could also be that within hours, or even minutes, you can feel that it is right for you. Don't judge the duration. Judge the feeling that you have. 100% awful idea. Sexual compatibility is extremely important to any healthy relationship. How do you feel about daylight savings time? Removed. Let's really shake up and shift the entire world clock 30 minutes to do half of DST permanently to compromise. The light issues are now half of what they were. Right? Now watch the chaos ensue. I don't care if we stay with DST or not. I just want to stop the time changes. Arizona keeps the state's time steady year-round. Why can't the rest of the country do the same? Tired, I feel tired. My cat doesn't like it at all unless he gets fed an hour earlier. I feel like it only outrages people twice a year. Every November, March, we hear yammerings about legislation, then nothing. I mean, Hawaii and Arizona haven't exploded yet. I'd be happy to give it a try. Which actor do you despise so much that you won't watch a movie with them in it? Steven Seagal. Talks shit, can't act. Andy Dick. Never liked him. Super annoying and he's not a good human being. My wife really dislikes Common. The story she tells is years before she and I started dating she was in a Foot Locker buying shoes. and Common was in town for a movie or something. He tried to use his influence and entourage to get his shoes before her and she had to tell him off. In a way, he still wasn't happy about it but let her go first. Poor guy lost a single viewer of all his future movies that day. Ezra Miller. Elizabeth Moss. It's almost like the Church of Scientology is stronger than nepotism. It's even more ironic that she's in Handmaid's Tale. What's the weirdest fetish your partner has had? My ex was into blood play, kinda hard to stay hard when someone has a knife. Wanted to have sex in front of windows. I lived in a ground floor apartment. He genuinely loved if I burped while we were kissing, and wanted to smell my farts. Like, ass on his lap and inhale. He told me that one. Never tried it. I'm not to yuck someone's yum, but it was too much for me. My ex used to get off on the idea of getting messy. Wanted to get a plastic tarp and cans of whipped cream, jars of pudding, chocolate syrup, cake icing, etc. Wasn't something I was into, but whatever. Never got around to it though. The most she did was give me a BJ with her birthday cake icing smeared all over my dick. Who is a bad guy in history who actually wasn't a bad guy? Milli Vanilli. One committed suicide for being hired in a music industry lip-syncing travesty. That's basically now commonplace. The real villain is the record industry. Deleted. That woman who spilled McDonald's coffee on her lap. In Braveheart, William Wallace gets betrayed by Robert the Bruce, which never happened. He was loyal to the end. Machiavelli. One of the most honest dudes in history, and his name is instead synonymous with villainy. Niccolo Machiavelli. Machiavelli didn't invent the idea of lying or ruthlessness. He made an observation about what worked and tried to get a new gig. Now his name is synonymous with heartless manipulator. The bad guy, Razor Ramon. What's a modern-day poison people willingly ingest? Those shorts videos that now are almost in every platform. If you have problems with focus and getting shit done, then you know that if you keep watching them, you might end up in the next day without even realizing you haven't done anything yet. 24-hour news cycle. I'm gonna say vaping. I knocked it on the head as my New Year's resolution. First time I've been completely nicotine-free, and still going strong, but I genuinely felt like I was about to cough my lungs up about 90% of the time vaping. If I have to be honest, I don't miss either, but I started vaping to stop smoking. I hate seeing young kids and teens do it, ones who wouldn't have even considered smoking. Social media. Energy drinks. Processed sugars.